You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. Welcome to the show. The interview subject you've tuned in to listen to is the great Ross the Boss, Ross Friedman. He used to be in Manowar, still is in the Dictators. Of course, he's got his own band, Ross the Boss, and now Death Dealer, which is the reason, the catalyst for the conversation. Death Dealer have a new album out. And what's it called? I just had it a moment ago. What the hell am I doing? Conquered Lands. I'm looking at it, and I'm reading one of the singles' names. Anyway, never mind. Ross and I have had many conversations. I truly enjoy talking to him. He is easily one of my favourite interview subjects. He will feature prominently, I might say, in my book. So here he is, Ross Friedman, aka Ross the Boss, here to talk about Death Dealer and a bunch of other cool stuff. Let's go. Gosh, you know, I think we've had something like half a dozen conversations over the last 4 years. So your creativity is just off the charts these days. And I can tell you, if it died in the wool, no, you see what I look like now. I don't look like a metal fan, but I'm dyed in the wool. I'm hardcore. But for people like me, your music is just, you know, we talk about all this bullshit going on in the world at the moment. But as long as I think there's killer riffs from Ross, we're all right. Okay, and there's plenty all over Conquered Lands. So it's wall to floor, to the ceiling and back, epic, heavy metal, and only the way that you know how to do. And it's got your flavour, you know, your DNA, your herbs and spices all the way through it. And everything I think you've ever done, you know this, mate, my feelings on this, but everything you've ever done is just imbued with quality, because that's when Manowar went shit when you weren't in it. Sorry, my opinion potentially, but I think most people agree with me. But look, I think with this particular album here with Death Dealer, you are all living in different parts of the world, I think, aren't you? Is that correct? So how did it come together?
Well, Andrew, it's a good story about the band. We after the second Ross the Boss record, after Hailstorm in 2010, I took a break for a bit, and because I had a German band and they were great guys, and I said, I think it's time for an American band for me. And well, that's another story. But in the meantime, I get a call from, I think it was 2011 or something. I get a call from Sean Peck, a guy called Sean Peck. I never heard of him before. I didn't know who Cage was, you know, and because I'm not a big, I don't listen to everything. You know, I'm too busy listening to my blues records. You know me. I'm like, and you know, the Who Live at Leeds is about as crazy as I get. But I love great heavy metal, of course. You know, so I get a call from this guy, Sean, and he's telling me, yeah, you're great. And then, you know, we want you in our band. I have a band called Death Dealer I'm going to do, and we want you for guitar. I go, that's nice. Or it's either going to be you or a guy from KK Downing, my buddy. It's either going to be you or KK Downing. And I said, I think KK is, I don't know him then, but I didn't know him then, but I think KK is retired. And he goes, yeah, well. Then I got, you know, Rhino on drums and this guy. So I was okay. That sounds good. Sounds good. And they said, you know, we have a name and we have this. I said, he seemed extremely organized. And I said, all right, I'll be speaking to you. And then the next day, Stu Marshall called me from Sydney, and this big guy gets on the phone, hi, mate, with this great accent, and he calls me up and he goes like, you know, I'm your biggest fan. You're my idol on guitar. My top idols, and Hail to England's like the greatest record. And you're like, you just it, man. I said, we want you to be in our band. And I go, well, Stu, I said, the only thing that's going to get me in your band is some songs. And so I said, you know, send me some songs and let me see what's going on with it, you know. And he sent me a bunch of songs. And I listened and I go, this shit's War Master. I said, this shit is pretty good. And I was really good. And I was looking. You know, it was at a time that I didn't want to do everything myself.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to be the responsible, be the it guy, and just everything. I got to do everything. I got to, you know, And Sean was very, very hardworking fellow, and said we're going to have funding and blah 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 blah. And so, you know, he goes, all right. So I said, after thinking about it for a while, I go, okay, I'll do it. And so. Sean got in touch with my manager, and we started, John Pendergrass, and then we started working on things and a plan, and so we recorded War Master, and first record, and then we got on the Metal All Stars tour. I was a
Mm-hmm.
Metal All Star. I was part of the troupe, and then Death Dealer Sean brought on in a way, and we became the opening act. So I was my own opening act. I was
Okay.
opening up for myself. I was playing with Death Dealer in all these European cities, and then I played the Metal All Star stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so we did that, and then we signed with Sweden Music Group, and we did Hollowed Ground, the second record, and then the Ross the Boss band kicked in again. I did AFM. We did my contract. I did by Blood Sworn in 2019, like not last, yeah, 2019
Mm-hmm.
by Blood
Yep.
Sworn or 28, and then in May we did the new record, and then Born of Fire came out March 6th. So and then the shit show hit. I did my U.S. tour, the Ross the
Yep.
Boss U.S. tour. The last show was in February 24th in Philadelphia at Live Nation, and then all of a sudden, the shit hit shit hit the fucking,
Yeah. Yeah. We know what
and then
happened. We're
and then
still here.
my my headline tour of Europe got canceled in April, and then my summer dates, RTB summer dates, got canceled, and then Death Dealer, we decided we're going to go move on the record. So we started moving on Death Dealer 3, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, and Sean, I said, Sean, we got a lot of great songs, and let's just finish this record, and then Sean and Stu said, yeah, let's do it, and then they decided to go on a writing tear over March, April, in the free time
Mm-hmm.
when no one was doing nothing, and I've been working on Death Dealer 4. Death Dealer 4 is completed, pretty
Okay.
much.
Sweet.
I just have a couple, and we have 5.
Oh shit! Boundless creativity.
Yeah,
It's pouring out the pores. You know.
yeah. So when we go on tour finally, Death Dealer, when it becomes okay, we're gonna be touring on Death Dealer 3 and 4 together.
Okay.
So it's gonna be strong. It's gonna be really strong. And if you did you see the Running with the Wolves video?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've seen a couple. Well, I'll put it this way: I've seen all the videos online that you've got, so I must have seen it. Yeah.
When we did that, I really realized that the band was really great, and we could really hit big crowds, and it was cool. So
Hmm.
we're a pretty unified band, so we're looking forward to the future. What can I say?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. As I say, your boundless creativity though, and your enthusiasm for playing heavy metal. And I might have asked this question before, but I was asking it in context to your contribution to Manowar, which is going to stand the test of time. It already has. What you're doing with Ross the Boss, there's shows down here in Australia, as you know, they're very well received. Fans love you down here, but you know, extending and joining another band or putting together another band here like Death Dealer, which means you're going to have another set of fans come on board. They just won't be Ross the Boss fans or Manowar fans. They'll be Death Dealer fans that'll discover those other bands. So, mate, where does this energy that you've got come from, do you think?
Well, you know what, Andrew, I don't take any time off. I'm here working.
Mm.
I work here every single day. I haven't had a day off. Well, I had days off when the lockdown was, but that was that was forced. I haven't had a vacation in 50. We've been open for 16 years. I haven't had a vacation in 16 years, and I
Yeah.
just keep working. I work every day. I work 7 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm like tomorrow night, I'm going to be recording tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm doing Death Dealer
Yep.
4. My,
Mm-hmm.
my my partner in my studio were down the block, and so everything's pretty close to me to work, and it's just I think that I don't know. I feel like it's just coming out. I'm doing the Dictators now. The Dictators we just got back our first mix. Ed Stasium mixed it. Our first song. It's fantastic, and Stu's mastering it. So you know, so it's I'm gonna have the Dictators touring. I'm gonna have Death Dealer touring. I'm gonna have Rock the Boss Band touring
Mm-hmm.
when the time comes, and I'm if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out doing what I want to do.
I bet.
You
Oh,
know,
definitely. Yeah.
I'm I'm 66 years old, but I don't feel it. So I'm gonna do it to the I fucking drop, and I don't feel like I'm gonna drop. So I mean, I'm in really good health. I mean,
Mm. No, good on you.
what can I say? I just have a passion for playing guitar, and I have a passion. I told my friend, I told Mark at the Animal. I was on his show yesterday, Area 22. Mark Mendoza from Twisted Sister, and he was
Sure.
in the Dictators with. So he has a big show now. It's like, you know, internet show. So I just told him, and he goes like, you know what, you're just the kind of guy that just happy if you had a guitar in his hand, in your hands, Ross. I remember you. You know, he was in the band for 2.5 years, from 77, 75 to 77. I remember you at 4 a.m. in the morning. I used to come in from partying, and you were in bed, like, with playing guitar. I mean, you just,
You're just one of those
you
guys,
know,
yeah. I've met guys like you a few
yeah.
times, actually, yeah.
I thank God that I had my own style and my own had musical aptitude, and you know, so I mean, I just never stopped, I guess,
Hmm.
and so it's an for me, it's an honor to play, and it's not a job. I don't consider it a job. I consider it an honor to play. So
I think because it sounds like you've got a lot of gratitude for it, and I think when you're in that space of gratitude, I think that's when more opportunities come through because you're more open to things. I think, look, I've got to say, I haven't, almost, I think I've done over 600 interviews at this time, and everybody's pretty cool, that, like, people, I don't get to talk to Keith Richards or Mick Jagger or anybody at that level, but yourself, the guys in Living Colour, the guys in the Norwegian black metal bands, there's always something that links everybody, all of you great musicians that have a world-renowned name, and I think it is. You just love doing what you're doing, and you can't buy that enthusiasm. You can't fake that enthusiasm because you see. I don't know whether you
no,
saw poor old Meatloaf's AFL Australian Football League Grand Final appearance about 10 years ago or so. Did you see that footage? It's
no,
a, well, it's horrible, to be honest with you. That's when you can tell someone's lost not just the passion, but they've also lost the ability. And that's a sad event when that happens. Like
yeah,
Scott Weiland too, it happened to him just before he died.
yeah. It's sad to see that, but that will never be me. I guarantee you. If I have to go through the motions to get on stage to earn some money, I will never ever. I will never ever do that ever.
Hmm.
I approach the show as it's my last show. I approach each show I don't care if it's 2,000 people or 20 people or 200 people. They see me play. I'm gonna play my fucking. I will give everything that's in me that night. You know, and so if I go to bed and I don't wake up the next morning, they will have known that I've given them their best.
Yeah, no,
And
good
that's
on
the
you.
way I feel. Especially now this time in life. I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know what's going to fucking happen. So
Yeah.
I'm here for the music, really, because I've made money, but not what you think I've made. And I don't hold people at blame for it. I could, if I wanted to, be very vindictive and angry, but I'm not. I can't live with anger in my life. I can't live,
Yeah.
you know, in just anger. You know,
No, I'm hearing you,
I
and I
look at
can
the
tell.
opportunity.
Yeah.
I look at the opportunities ahead. I look at the great things of the three bands that we're setting up. That's going to happen when we finally get to play.
Yeah.
All the exciting times that are ahead. You know, that's what I look at. I
Hmm.
can't do nothing about the past. I can't.
Oh, I agree. I mean, but as I say, mate, your music stands a test of time. There's a clearly identifiable shift in Manowar sound after you left. It lost that edge. It started to become a bit more of Joey and the Manowars, and that's how I call it. After what was the album? There was Louder Than Hell, that sort of stuff. There were some okay tracks here and there, but isolated. And they,
Triumph of Steel or whatever that was.
yeah, it was just identifiably without your ideas. They started leaning more on the classical shit, and they just do not compose classical music well. By all means, go out there and play classical music if you think you're good at it. But the classical stuff they've got on their albums, in my humble opinion, is garbage.
Yeah, well, I don't really listen to it. I'm not like I can't criticize it. I wouldn't. I don't criticize other musicians. I don't think it's my place
Hmm.
to do
I
it.
appreciate that. Yeah, I know. I offer my opinion, not
Yeah,
expecting a response
I won't
for
do it.
sure.
I will not do it. People want me to do it. People want me to slag them, but I won't.
Hmm.
I won't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you got too much class for that, mate. Plus, to your point, you've got all this cool stuff going on. I mean, I'll bring us back to Conquered Lands because I wanted to see who mastered it, and lo and behold, there's a fellow called Melra Applebaum, who's done. I hope I've got his. Yeah, he has converted to digital for the purposes of streaming. That many albums, I couldn't. I mean, huge bands. I think as you've seen, as you know, but the sheen that
Yeah,
he's given your album here, it's perfect. And across these things here, the iPhones, it comes across. I
yeah,
was listening to it on my phone, so on the phone through the Bluetooth speaker system in my Jeep, and I
uh-huh,
can tell you, I was in northern New
yeah.
South Wales traveling around and had your music blasting over, and I was like, "Wow, this sounds so much better." And you know, I tested it against Metal Works by Judas Priest. You know that greatest hits collection that they put out in about '94 or whatever it was. And mate, your sound is just all over it.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, yeah, we really have a good we have a good uh, partnership on guitar, me and Stu. So you know what, I like to think that when I can't play, he can play, and when he can't play, I can play. Well, that's the way we have it. There's no ego. I don't care. You know? As long as the right solo, is on the right song. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe in. So
Mm. Well, I think you've done that. That was the my next question, and you kind of answered it. Was did you experiment at all on this album? Because I couldn't really hear that you were doing anything different from what you're known for, but I found that there wasn't a lot of experimentation that failed if there was on there because everything seems like it snaps together like a jigsaw puzzle.
yeah. Well, what we do is when the basic bed is done, we start doing solos and stuff like that. Like I play a certain part, then he plays a certain part,
Mm.
then he'll go, oh, oh shit, I gotta redo my part. He wants to redo his part. Okay, Stu redoes his part, and then I hear what he's done, and I go, well, I'm gonna redo my part, and then I hear a little something that it just so. But by the time we're done, and it doesn't take long, and by the time we're done, we have something that's really solid and you know
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
and really it really works together. So yeah, and plus the whole package I think of the record is fantastic. I really do.
Yeah,
I
I
think the guy
agree.
that did the art, yeah,
Yeah, the artwork. I'm just
yeah,
looking at it now. It's got an Egyptian, a real demon style Egyptian vibe to it. It's classic stuff. Actually, is it? Who was the fellow that did it? Because he obviously. Oh, look at that, man! I'd love to have one of them with Australian tour dates on the back.
Suzanne Markovic.
Okay, there you
His
go.
name is Suzanne Markovic.
All right.
Sean. You gotta want merch. You gotta get it from Sean. Steel
Okay.
Cartel.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's a, there's a whole lot of different packages you can get, and different kind of kind of different stuff, patches and buttons and all sorts of metal stuff you can get.
Do you
Looks
find
good.
that?
T-shirt.
Do you find particularly with your brand of metal, so across Death Dealer, Ross the Boss, maybe not the Dictators, of course, because that's a bit different. But do you find
Yeah.
that you get a lot of fans wanting to purchase physical? They want the stuff, not streaming.
Yes, and that's what we preach to our fans, that the only way to really help us is by buying physical products from the band. Like you know, you want Roast the Blood stuff. I got some stuff here. I mail out stuff all the time, sweatshirts, koozies with my name on it. Whatever I got, you can buy it. That
Hmm.
really helps. It helps the bands because now the band, we're not making any money out of nothing, you know, and we're only giving 3 songs to Spotify to shitify and shitify. We're only giving 3 songs. If you want other songs, if you want the whole thing, you got to buy the whole thing. That's it. That's it. You got to buy the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think metal fans are conditioned to do that. Spotify themselves found that when they did their when they looked at their own data, they found that the most engaged audience was the heavy metal audience, not the urban audience or the R&B audience who were just about the latest flavour like this latest. I couldn't agree more with Geezer Butler's comments actually about this bloody Cardi B song that's out there at the moment, mate. I am no prude by any means. In my 42 years of age, I've said and I've been around some pretty weird shit, let me tell you. But the way that she, I mean, I've got daughters, right, and it's not just because of that, but I read those lyrics and I was like, oh shit, it's next level garbage, is all it is. I mean,
Who's
it's
that?
Cardi B, you know those urban
Oh,
artists, you know that.
oh, 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 that's awful.
You know the one I'm talking
She said,
about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, WAP.
That's the one. I read the lyrics and I was like, I mean, I actually interview some urban and some hip hop artists and the like who've got some risque lyrics, but I still think they're pushing it to the line, but they never cross it. That crosses it big time. And
Oh,
she knows,
it's
and those marketing assholes know that there are 8-year-old girls out there that are going to be singing this garbage.
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It really is.
Mate,
So
so yeah, it's what do we do though? Can't control it, I suppose. It's just the way the marketing machine works and the way that they try to get likes, clicks, buys, and whatever else it is that they need to do, you know. But
you know,
you know,
we also have a new member of the band. We have Mike Lapong on bass, and he's in Ross the Boss Band, and Symphony X, and he's just a killer. He's a killer bass player, and he's really up. He's really up the game for Death Dealer on bass.
you got Steve Bolognese on drums too, man. He's a
Yeah,
killer drummer.
I got three-fifths of the band,
Yeah.
three-fifths of RTB and Death Dealer, so it's great. It's a
So
great
it's
thing.
so 3/5. So you got the singer, obviously. Is he originally from? He's not from the States originally. Is that correct, or am I got my wires
Ooh,
crossed there? The singer, sorry.
Sean
Yeah. Sean, yeah.
Peck is from
Oh,
California.
yes. Okay, there you go. I don't know, where was I reading somewhere online that someone in your band was from Peru, but I might have had my wires crossed when I was reading another article there. But 3/5 are Ross the Boss, and then you got Sean, and then you got your Aussie friend there on guitar as well, Stu.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you guys meet each other?
Well, he called me up. Sean called me up. I told you he called me up, and then he was bullshitting with me, and then Stu called me the next day.
Oh, that
I
was
just
it.
told
So it
you.
was just out of the blue that he called you. Okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
you don't get something. You don't get anything if you don't ask
Hmm.
for it.
You don't.
So we talked. Stu sent me songs, and I listened, and I said, you know what? I was in. Ross the Boss wasn't doing anything, and I said, okay, I'm in. And then just kept going.
Well, that's a good lesson for
Good
anybody
thing.
out there who wants to work. But the thing is, Stu obviously has his shit together. So if you're going to call somebody out of the blue like that, have your shit together, know what you want, and also have something that is of relative value to the person you're reaching out to.
What he did was balls. Let me tell you something. Calling me like that, but he said he came through with everything he said he was going to come through to, he's got a lot of money. He makes a lot of money, and he's very fucking smart. He's very smart, Sean Peck, and very talented guy, great voice, and what can I say? He makes it happen.
Hmm. Yeah, fair enough. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'll make this my final point. What's that? Baseball. There you go.
It's not cricket.
No, I was going to say we know
Huh?
cricket. Baseball's like a fringe sport down here. I think it's only played by like. There you go. There's the day-night ball, the white ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Used to play a lot of that.
yeah. They played here.
Are they Americans that are doing it, or are they mainly like subcontinentals, like Indians and Pakistanis and stuff?
People, they come are Pakistanis, some Americans, some are South Africans, some Australians come here to play it.
Hmm.
Great. I love cricket. I think it's great cricket.
Well, we've got.
Game.
You know what it's like here, mate. There's a cricket net in every suburb. There's one just down the road from me here that sometimes I walk to.
Cricket devotion. I've never seen anything. It's on TV every day. Women play it. You have women's leagues.
Hmm.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Oh, cricket is big business. Cricket is actually one of the world's most lucrative sports because it's played in India.
Yes.
You've got a billion
Yes, it is.
potential viewers. All right,
Yes.
look, mate. I'll
You know
make
that.
this my final point for you. congratulations, Ross. You're going to be in my book. So I'm writing my book at the moment, and due to the nature of the fact that I am a Manowar fan, I'm a fan of your work in the band, and Ross the Boss. Everything you've done, I'm a fan of. So how can you not be in the book? So I'll thread you into the book, and once it's done, I'm also working on another book as well for a Hare Krishna devotee. I'm helping ghostwrite his biography. When they're done, I'll send across the pair of them. I don't know when that'll happen, but best laid plans. I'm trying to get everything done as quickly as I can.
Like that, and thank you for your support and kind words. Very nice.
You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. That interview subject was Ross Friedman, aka Ross the Boss, ex-Manowar. He's in the Dictators. Of course, he's got his own eponymously titled band, and now Death Dealer. Hope you enjoyed that one. I love talking to Roscoe. Thanks very much.